Welcome back to, wow, messed it up already. First line.
All right, strong start.
Strong start, people, strong start.
That wasn't even like 2 seconds in.
I know, I thought it said welcome back to Animation
It was
Station.
hardly 2 words.
All right, well, I told you we're gonna have troubles today, but okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another AN News Roundup. My name is Josh.
I'm Bradley. Hello.
We're supposed to introduce ourselves according to the script, but we already did, so. Let's not waste any time and get right into I was gonna say right to the news, but it said, all right.
Idea. What if we just started from the top? What if we just
Good job. Good idea. Good. I like this guy. I like this guy.
This man was like,
All right. Back it up to the top.
Money makes the world go round. Nobody knows this phrase better than Hasbro, the toy company that first introduced the Transformers back in the 1980s. The premise is simple. They are toys that transform from robots into vehicles. This gives children not one, but 2 toys. This formula has given Hasbro much success, with the Transformers still being a popular toy for children today. In 1986, Hasbro released Transformers the Movie, an animated film which divides the fan base even today. On this Desk of Judgment, we will be taking a deep look at this film and the themes, story elements, and how the film was received. This is your official spoiler warning. Welcome to Desk of Judgment. I'm Brad Wellman, and tonight we are going to be talking about Transformers the Movie.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The Transformers started off as a toy line originally brought over from Japan by Hasbro. It was incredibly successful and spawned a cartoon that first aired in 1984. The plots of the various episodes were very simple, with the evil Decepticons attempting to steal Earth's natural resources, while the heroic Autobots work with humanity and defeat the Decepticons. As a cartoon, there are very few story arcs, and it can generally be watched out of order. It was a very stagnant show, with new characters only rarely being introduced and very few on-screen deaths or even injuries occurring. This is important to establish before we get to the actual film. The film introduces Unicron, a planet-eating transformer and the main antagonist of the film early on. The movie then cuts to the Autobot-Decepticon War, which continues to rage in 2005, or more accurately, when 1986 thought 2005 was going to look like. The Autobots are preparing to reclaim the Transformer homeworld of Cybertron and send a shuttle full of supplies to the command center on Earth. The shuttle is hijacked by Decepticons, who kill the occupants and use it to attack Autobot City. A huge battle was fought, and Optimus Prime and Megatron, the leaders of the Autobots and Decepticons respectively, battle each other to the death. The Decepticons are driven back, and Prime eventually succumbs to his injuries. Megatron and Decepticon wounded are dumped in deep space and are eventually found by Unicron. After giving them new and powerful forms, Unicron rechristens Megatron as Galvatron and tasks him with finding the Autobot matrix of leadership, which is always carried by the current Autobot leader. A new cast of characters is introduced, and space adventures begin, with Galvatron pursuing the Autobots for his new master. I'm going to only briefly skim through the rest of the plot as I do not want to drag down this segment with plot intricacies. Unicron is eventually defeated and the Autobots declare an end to the Cybertronian War, and this apparent peace treaty is quickly forgotten about, and the Autobots and Decepticons go right back to fighting for another 2 seasons of the cartoon. I want to address the elephant in the room. This movie is infamous for its many character deaths, including Optimus Prime. In order to understand why this decision was made, it's important that we delve into how Transformers as a franchise operated in the 80s. Back in the day, new characters started life as toys and then were assigned character traits by the writers of the cartoon and the comic books. The point is, the toys came first, not the characters. In 1986, Hasbro decided to move on from the toys who were proving unpopular and discontinued many of the minor characters. New toys were quickly introduced, and the old characters had to make way for the new. This was done in Transformers by killing off the characters whose toys have been discontinued. The body count is rather high, and many Transformers fans today consider this film to have killed their childhood. The most impactful character death in this movie is Optimus Prime. Optimus had grown to be more than a character in an 80s cartoon, but it ascended to a position of prominence in American culture. If you show anybody who has never seen any piece of Transformers media a picture of Optimus Prime, they will most likely recognize it. When Prime was killed in theaters, it deeply disturbed the mostly child audience. Remember, the cartoon did not feature much in the way of death, so this must have come completely out of left field. There are stories of Hasbro receiving hundreds of letters from parents who had to console their children over the fact that their favorite character died. And there's even a report about a young child who locked himself in a closet for hours in tears after watching the movie. The reaction to the many deaths, particularly that of Prime, led to some creative changes for Hasbro's upcoming works. Optimus Prime would eventually be brought back to life in the show, be killed off again, and then be brought back again once the series ended. As the backlash to Prime's death was pouring in, Hasbro was busy working on a G.I. Joe movie. In the original script for the G.I. Joe movie, the leader of the Joes, named Duke, was slated to die. This was quickly changed in order to avoid further backlash, and instead Duke fell into a coma that he eventually recovered from. Prime's death can best be summarized in a quote from Flint Dill, a story consultant for the film. Quote, "We didn't know that he was an icon. It was a toy show. We just thought we were killing off the old product line to replace with new products." Unquote. One final note. The UK VHS release of the film added dramatic narration at the end of the movie, assuring the viewers that Optimus Prime will return. The voice work for this movie is actually quite loaded. Peter Cullen reprises his role as Optimus Prime, and Orson Welles of Citizen Kane fame plays Unicron. Apparently, Orson Welles hated the role and complained that he was playing a toy trying to destroy something or other, and this would be his last role before he died. The cast is rounded out by Judd Nelson and Robert Stack, both of whom are celebrated actors. Most of the movie cast did not reprise their roles in the final 2 seasons of the cartoon, and that may be jarring for some viewers. At release, Transformers the movie bombed spectacularly. Hasbro lost millions on the project, and the movie is rather divisive. It currently sits at a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes, with some calling it a nostalgic classic and others deriding it as a feature-length toy commercial. Personally, this film was a big part of my childhood, and I have to make sure to remove my rose-tinted glasses whenever I look at this movie. I think it's a good time, but it cannot be taken too seriously. This movie is a perfect microcosm of 1980s culture, in my opinion, and can be appreciated by us in the 21st century. Thank you for joining me as we explore Transformers the movie. See you on the next Desk of Judgment. Have a good night.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another AN News Roundup. I'm Josh.
It's your boy, Brad. How you doing?
And let's not waste any time and get right into it with the most hyped segment of the day.
Let's talk about what's new. Unlike last year, this year is brimming with new anime, starting off with Attack on Titan, the final season, which has been dominating the charts and blowing One Piece and Demon Slayer out of the water. The new #1 anime series worldwide.
And who could blame them? Those first few episodes were so good. However, let's give Demon Slayer its due. Over the winter, its manga outsold in the entire American comic book industry, becoming the most popular
And valuable.
comic book / manga in the world. Now that is amazing.
No, Spider-Man, you know what I did there? Anyway.
I wasn't paying attention, but
Speaking of manga, let's talk about some of the heavy hitters.
Dragon Ball Super just wrapped up the Moro arc, and to the surprise of many, jumped right into the next arc, the Granola Survivor arc, which picks up moments after the previous arc.
This was a surprise for many, as the previous arcs had a time skip in between them, which had led to many criticisms about the disjointedness of the series. But I guess that's a thing of the past now.
In other news, here are the most hyped manga series that recently announced they are getting an anime adaptation.
Chainsaw Man, this bloody, hyper-violent manga series has grown a massive and probably sadistic fandom that has been craving an adaptation since the second chapter, and it seems that it's coming late 2021, and their appetites will be satiated.
For those who know the show or the manga, it's actually pretty recent, and yeah, it is about as wacky as the name implies. I haven't read it myself, I've seen bits of it. Record of Ragnarok, the new kid on the block of tournament fighting manga. Record of Ragnarok blasted on the scene with its compelling battles and epic story of man versus god. The series is set to release sometime late this year, but will most likely only cover the first 4 fights of the series.
Baki, son of Ogre, yes, the OG fighting series is coming back, and this season we'll finally get the match we've all been waiting for, as Baki challenges his father, Yujiro, to finally decide who is the strongest.
I mean, it's not like we didn't have that before, it's just that he, pummeled Baki to the ground when he was like 13, so you know.
But I mean, you're gonna get that nice ass fight scene.
I mean, true, it's gonna be much cooler now, but I mean, just saying, like, it's not like it hasn't happened before.
Because I'm hyped for it, I can see that thing 1,000 times. Still gonna watch it.
Best believe. All right. Bleach, A 1,000-Year War, the biggest gamble of 2021 anime season, is undoubtedly Bleach. Though fans have been clamoring for a second adaptation to finish off the rest of the manga, the utterly disappointing final chapters of the series and the rather lackluster development of some fan-favorite characters have left many with 2 burning questions.
Will the series be worth the watch? And will the ending be changed due to fan outcry? Only time will tell.
Well, I mean, some anime have done pretty well when the ending has been
Emphasis
changed
on
slightly.
some. Emphasis on some.
Yeah, that's true. And now I have nowhere near finishing Bleach, but I've watched the show and I know that I've heard that the ending was not exactly the best, and people have been waiting for the for the finishing of this for some time now. So I think they'll find it pretty hard.
Well, I hope so, because an ending could really alter like the way you view a show. Like the show could be amazing, but the ending could put a sour taste in your mouth.
Very true, but that doesn't keep me from appreciating the show as a whole. So.
You're not wrong there.
Oh, and all you kaiju fans out there, don't think we forgot that 2021 is the year of the kaiju. In addition to the rematch of the century of Godzilla vs. Kong, we have the following series coming out this year.
Netflix Ultraman Season 2.
何もなかったんだ。俺はウルトラマンだ。ウルトラマンスーツバージョン 7.0 通称セブンだ。
はじめまして兄さん。お前みたいな奴がいるか。
俺は太郎。ウルトラマン太郎だ。
Pacific Rim: The Black.
Cities throughout Australia continue to fall.
Reports are confirmed to be breaches from an unknown hellscape. Kaiju have taken the continent. So help isn't coming.
What are we going to do?
Initiate the drift.
Initiating drift.
Shin Ultraman.
And Godzilla Singular Point.
Those some good shows right there.
I only know a few.
Well, that just about wraps it up for this week's AN News Roundup. I'm Bradley.
And I'm Josh. We hope you enjoyed this roundup and join us next time right here in Animation Nation.
Peace.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Treasures of the Anime. For this episode, I will be discussing something that many of you are waiting for. The legendary being that have caused many struggles to rage on indefinitely. This is the Stand, and I am here to tell you all about this famous power. As you can see, this is a stand. There are many different types of stands. What is this? What? I'm talking about stands. What else am I supposed to be talking about?
How are you talking about JoJo's?
What? But this is much more interesting. I could talk for hours about this.
Give me this, man. You have one more time. Don't mess up again.
Fine. We'll talk JoJo stands then. Well, I guess it's time to get truly bizarre. Think of stands like personas from the Persona series. They are beings that form based on the user's life energy. These beings appear as spirits that hang behind the user like a parrot for pirates. No one knows where these come from or who is qualified to use it. However, there are theories suggesting that stands' usage is passed down by their families. We could use the Joestar family line as an example of this. For those who might be saying, why don't you just see if someone has one? One issue with that claim. The only ones who can see stands are other stand users. So, it would be hard to know who all has one. I mean, it's not like the users are usually shown as extremely muscular at a young age of like 12 or wearing skin-tight clothes or anything. Anyways, let's talk about stands themselves. While we don't know every type of stand, we can categorize them into 3 categories. There are the humanoids, or the ones that represent a human being, the non-humans, and the phenomenon. The humanoid and non-humanoid can be represented in either a natural form or an artificial form. Some natural humanoid range from beings like Star Platinum, Gold Experience, or Purple Haze for those Prince fans.
No.
Some artificial humanoid stands are Kiss, Black Sabbath, and Jumpin' Jack Flash. Unlike the humanoid ones, the non-humanoid ones are more varied in design. These could range from animal types like Goo Goo Doll to plants like Stray Cat. They could even take the form of cells like Metallica. Then there are the phenomenons. These either don't have a form or appear apart from the user themselves. These could range from Aerosmith, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Earth, Wind, and Fire. For those who might be wondering, yes, these beings are named off of popular bands and music. I don't know why, but that's just what they're called. The design of the stands can change as the user ages. When they are kids, it might have a similar childlike form and will mature at the same time as the user does. In a similar way, they also die along with their user does. So if you feel lonely, at least you know there's a being that will be with your friend for life, whether you like it or not. Now that I finished talking about JoJo stands, let's get back to talking about these stands now. Where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. These stands originated back in China. At around 200 BC, however, what was that? Oh, great. Well, I guess I'll just leave this here. I'll see you all on the next episode of Treasures of the Animu, where you can dig up more treasure next time. As for me, I got to deal with this. Stop it! That joke is overused.
Ladies and gentlemen, we talk about a lot of epic moments on the show, but few are able to stand up to the legendarily epic moments in Dragon Ball. From its most humble moments in OG Dragon Ball to the breakneck battles in Z and the god tier fights in Super. We here at Animation Nation are here to count down our crew's personal top 12 most epic moments in Dragon Ball. I'm Nolan.
And I'm Rodney. Let's jump right into it. Number 12, Kaioken breaks Nappa. A personal favorite of our favorite debater, Will.
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
This scene was the first real show of Goku's massive power jump since his fight with Raditz. Immediately happening after the ever memorable "It's over 9,000," Nappa underestimates Goku and pays for it dearly as Goku beats the brutes half to death, ending the assault by breaking his back. At least it doesn't get worse for Nappa. Right, Vegeta?
Right, Vegeta? Vegeta? Remember the bug planet? Vegeta? 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 Vegeta?
guess I'm wrong.
Number 11, Vegeta's epic L streak. Speaking of Vegeta, he's one of the series' most popular characters, and is of course Animation Nation's all-time favorite Dragon Ball character next to our main man Gohan. Nevertheless, we all have to accept the honest fact that Vegeta has never defeated a main villain in his entire life. In fact, every single major villain has beaten, broken, or outright killed the Prince of All Saiyans. And it is in honor of the most epic L streak in history that we show you this short video, reminding you that while Vegeta will always be cooler than Goku, he will never be more than second fiddle.
Number 10, OG Beam Battle. Our co-producer Josh has 2 entries on this list. And for the first one, he went with an old classic, the OG Beam Battles for the fate of the Earth between Goku and Vegeta. I can't count, literally, because I'm bad at math, I can't count how many series replicated this beam battle. But no one has done it as well as the OG, and no one will ever be able to capture the epicness of this end result.
Number 9, I will not let you destroy my world! Animation Nation's living incarnation of hype, Bradley, chose this entry, and I've got to say, it's a good choice. Beaten and fresh out of Super Saiyan God energy, Goku battles the enraged god of destruction Beerus in the depths of the earth. And just as hope seems lost as Beerus collapses the entire cave on him in a fit of rage, Goku roars the epic phrase, "I will not let you destroy my world!" and erupts from the ground, clashing once again with Beerus, but this time with new and unrivaled power. It's an excellent scene and a fine addition to the list.
Number 8, Moral Vibe Checks Goku. Our executive producer, Nick, also put a couple entries on this list, though he put all the entries, with his first being the only manga-only entry because he's the only one who reads the manga. But in the Dragon Ball Super manga, the Planet Eater Moral battles with the Z-Fighters and is decimating them in a way that has never been done since the likes of Broly, and Broly whooped that ass. Well, let's get to him later, but they finally think that they have the upper hand on the sadistic monster after using the ever-loved instant Kamehameha! And this seemingly works as his arm is blown right off and it seems like he has taken irreparable damage. But Moral dashes toward Goku and regrows his arm through Goku's chest. What a spoiler, my god. But it is easily the most violent scene Dragon Ball has seen in a long while. And boy, it was worth the wait. And I'm still waiting because I had never read it.
Number 7, Goku vs. Tien. I personally hit the list with this old school classic from the original Dragon Ball. It wasn't gonna get any love unless I gave it some. Goku vs. Tien. Whether it's a kid or a teen, Goku's battles against Tien are second only to his fights against Master Roshi and Piccolo himself. Not to mention that Tien truly shows why he is such a feared fighter in tournaments. And it sucks that the only other time we get to see Tien in top form is in the BoJack movie against Trunks. Nevertheless, this stands as one of the many fights that established what Dragon Ball would later become in Z.
Oh yeah. Number 6. That's my Bulma! Oh yeah, that's my pick. As a man who knows a thing or two about the ladies, trust me, I don't. I have one girlfriend, Christina, don't hate me. But Rodney's pick, aka me, should not be a surprise to anyone. Perhaps one of the most defining moments in Vegeta's career in Dragon Ball Super, after mercilessly beating the prince, Beerus is about to finish him off when Bulma, angered at the mess they caused, just walks up and smacks the fire off the god of destruction. Beerus immediately retorts, by giving her that backhand, smacking her out cold, thus pressing the Bulma button. Vegeta rages, screaming,
That's my
and jumping to a power level far superior to SSJ3 or Super Saiyan 3.
Number 5, Goku vs. Hit. Our boy Josh has the next entry with one of his personal favorites. After Hit adds another hard L to Vegeta's ever-growing list, see entry 11, it is time for Goku to step up to the plate. Goku quickly discovers how to defend against the assassin's time skip technique and decides that it is time to go to the next level. Unleashing the longest power-up sequence since Super Saiyan 3, Goku does the impossible and merges Super Saiyan Blue with Kaioken.
Now I'll show you the Kaioken! I pulled it off. All the power of Super Saiyan Blue intensified with the Kaioken technique.
The real battle begins as the two battle at breakneck speeds throughout the area and ending with the two clashing inside a Kamehameha beam. Truly an epic moment in Dragon Ball worthy of this list.
All right, number 4, OG Super Saiyan. All right, you knew it was gonna be on this. I knew it was gonna be on this.
Absolutely.
What's an epic moments list without the OG Super Saiyan transformation? A better question, what else needs to be said about it that hasn't been said already?
Number 3, Broly transforms. A hotly debated topic is what this entry is. Nick and Josh couldn't decide between the OG movie's transformation and the Dragon Ball Super transformation, so both land a place here at number 3. Whether it is the tragic eruption of power that led to Super's Broly attaining his first Super Saiyan transformation, or the malicious, sky-warping evil of the sadistic OG Broly's legendary transformation. No one except for Goku himself has ever had more memorable and downright epic transformation scenes than Broly. I mean, come on, look at this epicness.
He's the one, the Saiyan of legend. You, Kakarot, I choose you to be the first of my victims.
Number 2, Family Kamehameha. The man, the myth, the legend is here again with back-to-back entries courtesy of Nick. Starting with 2 legendary lines, Gohan saying,
I've had enough!
and Broly coldly retorting,
Not until you lie dead at my feet.
The 2 charged their attacks, Broly's Omega Blaster versus Gohan's Kamehameha. Goten joins his brother with his own Kamehameha, but they are still losing ground. All while the sadistic giant Broly laughs like a maniac. That is until Goku arrives to help his sons and Broly is taken by surprise. But even with the combined strength of all 3 of them, Broly is still winning. It's only when Trunks distracts him for a moment that they are able to blast Broly's Omega Blaster back and send the Mad Saiyan straight into the sun. Ow, what a sunburn.
Together!
Number 1, Jiren versus Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. Yep, this is it. Fight of the Multiverse. Donovan rings in with the number 1 pick, as anyone who's anyone was hyped as they saw Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku beat the ego, coolness, and power out of Jiren. Even once powered up to 120%, Goku gives Jiren those godly hands, as seen here.
It's gonna be!
This was the perfect and most epic way to lead into the final episode of Dragon Ball Super, and stands without a doubt as the best episode of the entire series.
I guess that rounds out our list. There are plenty of other epic moments in Dragon Ball, and we would be remiss if we said these were the only ones that count. And I am Rodney.
And I'm Nolan. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next list.
Ah!